Hello my sweets, welcome back to another small video of my Fall in Luxe series. I hope that you enjoy it. So from the Dollar Tree, you're going to need one of these wooden leaves. I see these every year, but I think this year they have some different ones that are also nice, but I do have to say that I love these. So I'm going to coat these with this white pearl paint from Folk Art from Walmart, I believe, and I'm going to paint it both in the front and in the back. Now this leaf has like a smooth side and kind of like a more of a rough, sandy, bumpy side, which I don't mind because, you know, naturally leaves have texture. But if that does bother you, go ahead and give it a light sand on both sides. I'm going to use the side that has the little texture on it just to kind of replicate what a leaf would be. So now to create the lines of a leaf, I'm going to use my hot glue gun and I'm just going to create lines. You can go ahead and follow an inspiration picture online or anything like that. That's what I did. And so you want to go ahead and create as many or as little lines as you want. I didn't want to go overboard, so I kept mine simple. So you want to go ahead and allow your hot glue to dry, and hot glue, even when it does dry at the beginning, has kind of like a tacky feel still. So what we're going to do is that coming right up, we're going to grab some gold leaf sheets that I have here, and I'm just going to apply them on top. And I want to just cover the lines with the gold leaf. Go ahead and paint this leaf whichever way, you know, whatever color it is that you guys like. And you don't have to use gold. You can use silver or rose gold, whatever it is that you like. But I decided to, if you don't know by now, I love gold and silver, but my first love is gold. I like everything gold. So I'm doing that. And then once you cover your lines, you just want to take like a very soft brush, an old toothbrush or something like that, and just go ahead and remove all the excess of the gold leaf sheets. And now I did go and mix some of my Glam glitters. I have gold, silver, and my what's the color? Champagne blush. I almost forgot. So I mixed all those three together. I always tell you these Glam glitters complement each other really, really well. And in addition to mixing them together, I added some crushed glass. If you're interested, my email is down below. If you're interested in purchasing these. So what I'm doing, as you can see, is that I'm outlining the edges of the leaves with the Glam glitters, and I'm going to thicken them in, you know, every so often, just like you see here. And we have some, you know, glitter fallout throughout the leaf, and I really don't mind because I think it gives it that extra something, and it's really pretty. So now you want to go ahead and seal everything. I'm going to use my favorite glue, which is the Elmer's clear glue, and you want to allow this to fully dry. And that's what that's looking like. So now I want a stand. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree. I have two options. You see me use this one before. So if you're gonna decide on using this one, obviously you're going to remove that geode part or that round part, and then you can use it and glue it on that way. But I decided to use the other one, this one. And so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the pumpkin and lay it to look this way. Now when you remove the pumpkin, you just want to be careful because I ended up you know, breaking into my wood, and then I had to glue it together again. So just be careful when you do that. This is what I mean. I don't mind it because I was going for kind of like that rustic old. I didn't even want to paint this piece. I just wanted just as is. And just be careful that you just don't break yours. And so now we're going to glue it on the stem there and to the side. And just to reinforce it a little bit more, we're going to turn it around. I'm going to use these Dollar Tree little wooden blocks, and I'm going to place just one in the back where you don't see it when you turn around, and then over by the stem I'm just going to reinforce it with some more hot glue. But if you really wanted to, you can make this double-sided. You can have the other side say something like hello fall or welcome fall or something like that. I just decided to create it a one-sided. And that's it. So now moving on to our next DIY, you're going to need any pumpkin that you want. This is just those foam ones that you find at the Dollar Tree. And I have these beautiful metal ribbons that I've had for a while. I will link these in my Amazon store if I find them. And also I know you can find them at Hobby Lobby if you have a local one by you. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I'm going to cut it to size to go around my pumpkin, but before that I'm using this kind of like a rigid edge knife. That's kind of like what you want, or whatever works, just as long as it doesn't give you that jagged edge. You want it to be pretty smooth. So I'm just scoring it as I go around and cutting into it slowly. Once I've done that, I've cut my metal ribbon to size, and I do advise that you cut it a little longer, just because our next step, what I'm going to do, obviously the pumpkin by nature has those grooves, and so I decided to mimic that by creating that on my metal ribbon every so often, just creating those little ups and downs, so to speak. And so I ended up a little short, so I had to cut a little extra and glue it down. No big deal, but just go ahead, if you're going to create this, cut your metal ribbon longer, and then you'll be fine. And so now I'm just gluing that in place, and I'm just trying to go along as much as I can to the ridges of the pumpkin. I'm going to cover where the ribbon meets the pumpkin, so I'm not too worried about it. And so now obviously I'm going to try to line up the top as best as possible and glue that on as well. And so I flipped the pumpkin upside down, and I just want to create a little hole here because later I'm going to use that to stick in a string light or one of those battery operated tea lights. And I'm also removing the stem from the top. I started painting this and I didn't like the way I was going with it, so I changed my mind. But in the meantime, Dollar Tree carries these glass leaves, and they're so beautiful. As you can see, they come in different colors. You can use whatever color you want. You can even spray paint these whatever colors you want to match your decor. I'm just going to use the clear and another one, and I'll show you that later on. But moving on to the next step, what we're going to do is that I'm going to use actually before that, guys, where the pumpkin stem goes, this is where this is going to go, and this is what's going to take its place. So I'm just outlining so that I can create a hole so that I can then insert my glass leaf. So that's what I'm doing now. That's the bottom, and this is the top. So go ahead and cut it to size and make sure it's nice and snug. And that's the idea that we are going for, because naturally pumpkins have leaves on them. So I'm replacing mine with these. And so again, my Glam glitters here. This is the rose gold, and I'm mixing some of that with my champagne blush. And I think that once you mix them together, it is so beautiful and is very fall inspired colors, so I decided to go with that. But go ahead and use whatever it is that you want. You can apply gold leaf on your pumpkin. You can paint in any color that you want. You don't have to use glitter. That's just what I'm doing. You can use hot glue for this step, but in my case, and I prefer, is using yet again my clear glue. And in sections, I'm just gonna go and apply my surface. You might have to go twice and do it just to fill in the gaps. But you want to make sure that you cover your pumpkin as much as possible, especially where the pumpkin meets the metal ribbon. You want to do that. So now that I've done the top and the bottom, that is what that's looking like. And so now I'm going to, you can either use the clear one, spray painted, or I'm going to use the auburn. What is it? Auburn, is that the color? I think. So I'm going to go in between both, and I'll explain more what my idea was when I was creating this. But this is how everything turned out. This is my beautiful leaf. I absolutely love it. I love this. Like, I really love it. The way that this turned out. I think the possibilities are endless with this wooden leaf that the Dollar Tree carries. You can make a collage of these on the wall. Like I said, you can do a double-sided type of thing. But I really love how classic and simple and rustic glam that it looks. That is really the style that I like. Yeah, I want to know if you're going to recreate this, and if you are, I want to know what kind of color scheme are you going to go with. But I've noticed that they go pretty fast at the Dollar Tree, so if you want these, go ahead and grab them now. This would be the time. And like I said, they have some varieties this year, but this is kind of like my preference right here. So yeah. And this is our pumpkin. This is our pumpkin. I had a vision. I was going for something here. I wanted to replace the leaves that the pumpkins naturally come with this glass leaf votive from the Dollar Tree. And now the candle is taller than the votive, so that would serve, in my eyes, as the stem of the pumpkin. Can you visualize what I'm trying to go with here? So the glass is the leaves, and the pumpkin, and the candle, which is taller, would serve as the pumpkin stem. Let me know what you guys think about this. As always, I want your honest opinion. I value each and every one of you. If you're not subscribed, YouTube is very funny about notifying. Please check if you're getting notifications from me. If you're not, unsubscribe, subscribe again. Make sure your bell is the one that says all, so you can be notified of all my videos and not just some of them. And then go ahead and check my channel once in a while to see if I post it, because again, with YouTube, you never know. Comment down below, give me a thumbs up if you think I'm deserving. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.